Hey guys, jnull, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land. Hey. Sorry about the, yeah, it looks gruesome, but it's meat in the freezer, so. Whatever part of the world that you are in, how about you thought I forgot, huh? Me and my son, Josh, we are skinning some deer this morning, and it's about a balmy 11 degrees out here, so we put these down last night. Well, yesterday evening, I should say, because hunting at night is illegal. But yesterday evening, about 4:30 or so, he shot his, and I shot mine. He's getting his ready to hang and skin. I hang mine by the head whenever I'm skinning them. Excuse me, because in my opinion, and I'm not like an expert on butchering or any of that kind of crap, right? We're just dudes. I'm just a dude, regular old dude, junior. But when I'm pulling the hide down and it's going along with the grain of the hair, I find that I get less hair on the meat. So what I do is I really take my time and I make my cuts, you know, inside up to the armpits. You know, I make my cuts inside like this up to the armpits and across to the chest. And up the throat here, up to the neck. We keep the neck because it's a good piece of roast. It's a great piece of meat. But make your cuts really good first. When you start skinning, it'll make the whole process a lot easier, in my opinion. We skin a lot of deer, and just having these cuts and stuff ready, before you start actually peeling the hide off, it just makes the process a lot easier. You get a lot less hair on your meat. You'll have some hair up on your neck where you're cutting around. But I use a smaller blade. This is I think Ricky calls this a creek skinner. Ricky Wallace makes all the knives that I use. This is my skinning knife that I use for coons and deer and everything. And then here in a little bit, we'll switch over, when we start quartering and taking the meat out, we'll switch over to a longer blade. This is his fillet knife. And of course, he makes, like he made my son with a bit of an antler on it. Really cool looking knife. So anyway, I'll leave a link to Ricky Wallace's website if you're looking for some really good, solid quality work knives. I mean, we work the crap out of them, and just about every knife that we use for whatever it is comes from Wallace knifeworks. So I've got this one just about to the point where I'm going to start peeling it down. If anybody was wondering, we use 50 caliber muzzle loaders to put our deer down. It's all about leverage. Don't be afraid to get dirty. I'll put my elbow, give me enough little hide there where I can put my elbow in it. Start peeling down. Now some of you ain't gonna believe this, but it is the God's honest truth. This doe here, she come out of the fence, or she come out of the field. She was already nervous. Josh was shot and missed because it was snowing so hard yesterday. I don't know, you know, it was just hard shooting yesterday. It was snowing and windy. But she took off running, and I hit her with a scoped muzzle loader at a dead run at about 75 yards. 75 yards or so, yeah. There was no luck involved, it's all skill. So we were blessed. It was a blessing. Yeah, I was pretty surprised. I almost didn't take the shot because I don't like to shoot unless I'm really confident that I'm going to put it down. But I was fairly confident, and I've shot enough to know that I'm a decent shot anyway. So anyway, we last night when we put the picture on Facebook, y'all said you wanted to see some of the skinning and the processing. So here you have it. We're going to get this big doe here skinned out, and then we'll quarter her up. And we'll let the quarters hang for a couple days since it's nice and cold. And then we will start skinning on that one there. So we will turn the camera on periodically throughout the day here. If we get done in time, we may hunt again today. They canceled school because of the weather and the road conditions. But that doesn't mean we can't get on the hill and see if we can't put some more meat in the freezer. Here in Lawrence County this year, we are allowed on our landowner subsistence permits. Only 6 deer this year that we can keep in the household. So that's not going to be quite enough, but it is what it is. We will get what we can and be happy for what we have. So, anywho, like I said, we'll turn the camera back on here periodically and get you guys caught up with what's going on. And keep working these deer. I already pulled the back straps out of it while it was hanging. And then as you can see, as we lower it, set it right on the table. The table's dirty, but everything's frozen and I can't hardly get anything off of it. So, it's what it is. We just have to wash the meat real good before we go. We're going to start quartering it up now. And getting our quarters together. And now my hind quarters, I will let them hang for a day or so since we're so cold. I'll show you how we're doing it once we get to that point. But now, I always like to lay them down here. For me, it's easier to work on this table than it is to try to have everything swinging and hanging. So now all we're going to do is just quarter it and clean it, and then we'll hose them off when we get them up to the house. And we'll go from there. So this is the next step anyway. What are you doing? I'd say somebody's definitely trying to make friends to get a little deer meat, huh? Mew mew. Oh my goodness. He's almost got his skin. He's getting pretty good at skinning deer. We brought her down, skinned her out. What's good about this is that we know that in the future, they may call him redneck, but they ain't gonna ever call him hungry.
Yes, sir.
Well, I doubt they call him redneck because he's going to be in, well, he already is in college, so. Good family activities. It's not always just about sitting around and watching TV and stuff. Get outside, do some hunting, do some fishing, spend a little time with each other, learn some new cool stuff.
All right, break the tail.
Yep, I'll just put a little bit of it, yep, right to that membrane right there. Give it just a little bit of a, there you go. The good tools, the proper tools always helps, by the way. You notice my skinning knife is just a little bitty old curved blade, and the reason that I like that is because there's less chance for error as far as having a long blade where you cut into the meat. This thing here, Ricky has designed it to where you just put that tip right underneath the skin and you just kind of push it. And these knives are sharp enough, I mean, they stay sharp. You just kind of push it right up and it just cuts right through the skin. And then we have our longer blade knives for the quartering and the butchering and stuff, so the right equipment helps. Getting near the tail now. All right, let's go slow and get that tail. Anyway, we're going to get everything here finished, quartered up, and then we'll show you later on tonight. We're going to be cooking some tenderloins, and somebody else wants some tenderloins, I think, too. You know, it's hard to skin deer with cats on my shoulders. Just saying, sweetie. So we'll do a quick little tenderloin cook tonight with our potato soup. As long as we don't have cats crawling on it still. All right. That's a gland. Okay. So you're going to put your knife blade underneath that gland. Just poke it right straight through. There you go. I know I keep saying it, but always remember it's not a race. You don't do any better if you go fast. Actually, if you try to go fast, you're more likely to make a mistake and to cut a part of the meat that you didn't want to cut or something like that. So we always want to take our time, make sure we get the maximum amount of meat out of it. I said a lot of guys will be bragging, they'll go, I could have mine skinned in quarter in 10 minutes. Yeah, but it looks like crap and they left a lot of meat on it. So I could probably do it in 10 minutes, but why bother? Why try to do it fast? Go slow. Alrighty, we're hanging them up. All I've got here is a piece of string, what is that, 8 inches long roughly, with a loop on each end of it. And then we just take a loop, run the string through to make a bigger loop. Take our big loop around the ankle part of the leg. And then we've got screws out here amongst our, here on the back porch, we've got screws out here on the top part, amongst our rod and reels here that we hang our meat from. Now we can come out here and clean it, and we'll let ours hang at least a day. We'll let them hang, and that kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm old-fashioned in thinking, but to me it just seems like it makes better meat when you let it hang. The enzyme in the meat kind of can work at it for a little bit and kind of break it down. We don't want rotten meat, but we want it a little more tender. And this, it's out here, it's cold, so it's not going to go bad on us. And I don't hang the meat overnight or for a couple days unless it's at least 36 degrees or below outside. It's kind of like hanging it in the freezer, you know, or a refrigerator in a meat locker. So this is our quarters, and we'll hang. That way we can come out here and pick a quarter and take it in at our leisure and butcher it and cut steaks and roast. There's going to be, each one of these hind quarters is going to have 3 sections in it. One of the sections is called the knuckle. And it's a roast, and the rest of them we'll cut steaks out of, the cap and so on. And I have videos that we made in the past about taking these apart and how I do it. So you can do a search for those videos and check them out. And so right now we're going to go in the house, get a cup of coffee, get started with our potato soup, which there's also a video about. And then I will show you later on this evening. We're cooking up our tenderloins. We're going to have tenderloins to go along with our potato soup. But here's the meat that we have so far hanging, and hopefully we'll have at least double this amount. Excuse me. Hopefully triple this amount before our deer season comes to an end. Hopefully we can get 2 more either this evening or tomorrow, get them butchered out, and then probably in muzzleloader season in January we'll get a couple more. And that'll be our meat supply for the majority of next year, because we just don't buy meat from the store if we can help it. That's just how it is. Not when we have this kind of resource available to us out here in the hills. So there you have it. We'll see you guys in a little bit. And I think, look at us. Looks like we've been butchering something or other. Look at that. So we're going to get some coffee, because I don't know if I mentioned it earlier or not, but it is cold outside. So we'll see you guys through the magic of video in about a second. Okay guys, this is my favorite way to make the tenderloins. This is our kind of our butcher day treat, so to speak. We do this after we butcher the deer. We come in here, we have our little treat, and I just take our tenderloins. These are the inner loins that are on the inside of the deer, and we just cut them into medallions that are about 1 inch or so, like that. And this is a real easy way to do it. Sometimes we do it on the fire pit out at the skinning station, so to speak. Then we just kind of do it in a cast iron pan out there. And then speaking of cast iron pans, I have my cast iron skillet. I've got butter and a little bit of garlic, minced garlic in there, and we just put them in here, our medallions like this. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, and that'll be it. This little skillet right here, this cast iron, it doesn't look like a cast iron skillet, but it is. I got this from Silver Fire. This thing is only 30 bucks, and it is fantastic, man. I love how this skillet cooks. It's cast iron. The handle doesn't get hot. I mean, it's just, I'll leave a link to this in the description box. If you are looking for decent cast iron, and it's really affordable, and man, I just love it to death. I just love it. It's awesome. But anyway, this is how I do mine. This is all we're going to do. We're going to cook them until they're thoroughly cooked, and then here in a little bit we're going to give them the old poison test. Of course, we've got to make sure everything's not poisoned before the little ones eat it. But I had somebody ask me on Facebook what my favorite way to cook the back straps and the tenderloins are, and this is it for me. So we will see you here in a little bit whenever I get all of this cooked up. Alright guys, well here we go. Here's the first batch is done here. We're going to give it the old poison taste test. They are nice and tender, and man, they're cooked. Best part about deer hunting right there. So there you have it. We are going to enjoy our supper. We got the next batch of tenderloins cooking, frying away in this skillet. Check out the links I left below. Have a little bit of skinning and cooking and just kind of what we do around here during deer season. So I hope the video was enjoyable. You guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of the evening. God bless. The end. Buzz, buzz. The end.